Get ready. I'm about to channel my inner English teacher with a vocabulary lesson today. We're going to be talking about set and setting when it comes to therapeutic psychedelic journeys. So let's get started. Hi everybody, my name is Jill. Welcome back to the channel, The Journey Sage. And this is where I talk about my experience of healing PTSD from child abuse with psychedelic-assisted psychotherapy. And if you've done any reading about psychedelics in the mental health space, I'm sure you've run across the concept of set, mindset, and setting where the journey takes place. So this is one of two videos. In this video, I'm going to talk about my experience of having a fantastic mindset going into a therapeutic journey. And I'm going to link below the second video talking about the setting and why that's important for a therapeutic journey. So today, let me talk about three things that I found to be really important so that I went into my therapeutic psychedelic journey with a fantastic mindset. First, intentions. Number two, trusting my guides. And number three, trusting the entire process. So let's get into it. All right, so first of all, if you wander around this channel, you're going to see videos about intention setting. I actually wrote a workbook on it to help people get really focused in on what they want to achieve during a therapeutic journey. For me, it was incredibly important that I not have kind of a general intention, or if I did, it kind of got a little bit more specific. So for instance, a lot of my intentions were about being afraid of the universe. Sometimes they were about being afraid of my father. Usually they had some sort of fear element to them, but the more specific I could be, and I'm an English teacher, I was an English teacher, so I like to use personification. So I'll very often say the medicine did this, meaning the prescribed psychedelic MDMA in this instance. So I like to say that the medicine actually targeted the childhood memories that my intentions told it to target. So that's just my vocabulary and how I like to think about it. Secondly, it was very important that I trusted who was going to be with me that day. I will tell you that there were lots and lots of conversations. There were lots of conversations, not only about intentions, but also about boundary setting. And when I mean boundary setting, I mean I wanted to make sure how I was going to be treated, when and if I was going to be touched, how the day was going to go, what would happen if I would get sick. I mean, I was inexperienced when it came to psychedelic use, so I had lots and lots and lots of questions. And the people with whom I worked always stepped up, answered my questions. And as much as I was super nervous going into a lot of my journeys because of my internal talk track about healing, I was not nervous about the people with whom I was working. And I think that's really, really important. You know, get to know whoever you're working with. And if you feel anything that's off, then, decide to go work with someone else is how I would have handled it. I trusted the people with whom I worked 1,000%. And then third, I had to learn to trust the process. My very first journey didn't go well because I didn't really surrender to it. I didn't understand what was going on. I detail that completely in the book. And then even with my resistance, I still had some healing. My second journey, I wanted to kind of understand what was happening at the time because I didn't really trust that, like, how it was going to work. And I wanted to understand it. In some ways, I wanted to hack it, just to be honest with you. And what really happened was that under the prescribed psychedelic MDMA, I had a lot of memories and I talked about a lot of issues that to me seemed like a bunch of random puzzle pieces. And I couldn't put them together. That made no sense to me. And therefore, I walked out of that journey feeling a little bit frustrated. And yet, in the integration time after that journey, made a ton of progress. So what I had to learn, especially for the third journey, is just trust the process. Remember, I like to personify the MDMA, the psychedelic. So the medicine will go where the medicine needs to go as per your intentions and the work that you've put in, or at least that was my experience. And so for me, trusting the process, letting go, was incredibly, incredibly helpful to have a fantastic mindset. And it was after that third therapeutic journey where I no longer qualified for a PTSD diagnosis. And I think trusting the process was pivotal with that particular result. So there you go. Those are my experiences. Setting fantastic intentions for healing, trusting with whom you're working, and trusting the process itself. Those things helped me have really healing-centered, a Jill-centered mindset that ultimately led to not having that PTSD diagnosis. In the next video, we'll talk about setting. In the meantime, my books are always on Amazon. Feel free to check them out, especially the memoir if you want to kind of see how this process unfolded. Check out thejourneysage.com for more information and resources. And as always, feel free to throw any questions down in the comments below. And until video number 2, take care.